Matt, thank you very much indeed for rejoining us. What we were just saying then, that very short break, Matt, was that I can't see how McLeish can survive to start next season, because one thing that's very important to clubs like Aston Villa is, will the fans start shelling out the money now for the season tickets for next season? And you give us the impression a lot of fans don't want to watch the sort of football that's being served up and don't like even being at Villa Park because it's so dull.
Well, I mean that's the problem, you know. I mean, you're going to get protests now from fans who are going to boycott season ticket sales, you know. And it's just all it's going to do then is just be a recurring cycle of, you know, poor attendance, poor atmosphere, poor performances on the pitch, and you know, there's a realistic chance of us being relegated, if not this season, more definitely next season. You know, I mean, we've lost players in Young and Downing who maybe haven't shown their ability at the top. But for Villa, they were excellent. You know, I mean, you spoke about Bent, and I heard that. And Bent needs supply. You know, Darren Bent isn't a player who's going to go and get the ball and he's going to create. He needs players to give him the ball, and he'll score goals. But there isn't that. You know, and Zogbia has not performed this season, and for $9.5 million, he should have. You know, but McLeish hasn't handled him well. You asked me before about Stephen Ireland. He's been in parts he's looked okay, but we're asking him to do things that then I shouldn't be doing. You know, the thing about Villa that's so frustrating is that we seem to be defensive, but then we don't defend very well. You know, we don't defend well off corners. We can see too many from set pieces. We let players play through us, yet we don't seem to have anything. At least O'Neill defended to counter, and then we did that with effect, with speed. But honestly, it's been awful this season, and I don't know why McLeish was the option. I really don't. You know, it's shocking. It really is.
But what about Bonlahor? He doesn't see. You know, he doesn't seem to be on the ball at all. He's pacey. He's quick. Is it not going well for him?
Well, I mean, personally for me, Bonlahor hasn't been. He's not a top talent. I mean, I'm very surprised he ever got an England cap, to be honest. He's got a lot of pace.
Yep.
You put on too much muscle maybe 2 years ago. He's lost that a bit now. He scored a few at the start of the season, but you know, really, he's not at the standard you need. You can't rely on Bonlahor to do anything. When he was played out wide, he was probably more effective. But you bring him on for 20 minutes at the end of a game when the fullback's tired, and he'll be effective. But honestly, teams found out on Bonlahor. You know, you just drop off from Bonlahor, and he can't do anything. If you give him space, he'll penetrate because he's fast. But he isn't a talent, you know. He's not. And I mean, D'Alfonso seemed like a player who could have done something. He's not looking very. He's obviously being shipped off. And you know, the youth players we've got. I mean, Gary Garner's a big top talent, but you know, are we playing him effectively? We just haven't got the talent around these youngsters to impress them, improve them more. You know, and it's really the lack of investment at Villa's been poor, and I don't see it getting better. I really don't. We've got a bad wage problem. And
is the money available?
Well, this is the problem. I think Lerner put a lot of money with O'Neill. I think they invested a lot. I mean, I think they spent 100 million net, you know, in O'Neill's time, and that's not even counting wages. And I know the wages are very high at Villa, and obviously they tried to ship a few out. But I look at the players they brought in this season. You know, Jermaine Jenas lasted half a game and he got shipped back. We were still paying his wages, or half of them at least. Alan Hutton really is disappointed at right back. I mean, I've never rated him, but I've saw how bad he is this season. Yeah. Obviously, Zogbia really hasn't done it. And the team that we had last season didn't do well, and we've lost the talent that we had. You know, so it was bound to be like this season. But it's still terrible. And Randy Lerner and the board there need to really, you know, realise they made a mistake here, because I mean, to bring the manager from Birmingham City over to Villa, who's just relegated, it was never going to be a good situation, you know. And I think McLeish has handled it well, and credit to him. He hasn't complained. He's done his job, but he's not good enough. And the thing is, you know, if you haven't got the fans on your side, then you're never going to get the time to do it, and that's the problem. And we need to really stop that and move on.
I mean, Nicky Summerbee, who's in the studio with me, said that, you know, for McLeish to be accepted, you had to be in a top 6 position by Christmas. Really, you had to hit the tarmac running. You had to shake off the overcoat of Birmingham City and of relegation, and you had to embrace the fans and give them something to shout about. But none of those factors have happened.
No, luckily we had a good start to the season, and when I say good, we went undefeated for 8. Now, we drew a lot, and McLeish is a great draw man. You know, I mean, a lot of Villa fans make a joke about how his favourite score is a 0-0, and it does seem like that, you know, and that's not good in itself. You know, the thing is, under O'Neill, we were almost at that top 4, but we weren't good enough. But the football was fun, you know. I mean, we scored goals, we attacked. The atmosphere was great, and O'Neill on the side had an attitude, and he galvanised the fans. And McLeish, you know, McLeish knows he's in a losing battle, and I'm shocked personally that he took the job. I mean, in a way, I guess it was too good to be true for him. You know, he's just been now a Premiership team wants him, but it was never the right choice. And you know, Lerner should have listened to the fans on that respects, because it's really killed us this season, and I worry for the future. I really do.
Do you get any indication that Mr. Lerner's losing interest in the club?
Oh, definitely. You know, I mean, you don't see him as much. I think. I mean, he tried to invest for the Champions League, and he thought, yeah, okay, I'll put a bit of money in. We'll get these players, and we'll go for it. And at one stage, Villa were very close to it. You know, that season where O'Neill made a mistake with Moscow, and then we just capitulated, and Arsenal took the top 4. And maybe we could have gone on and done something there, but we didn't. You know, no, we didn't invest in that January. Whether that was O'Neill or Lerner, I'm not sure. But Lerner's realised that the gulf now to get top 4 is too big, and he hasn't got the money or the interest to invest the next step. And so what we need now is either a new owner. You know, now, I'm not all about the billions of money, but if you want to get top 4, and that's what Villa fans talk about, that's unrealistic. You know, we're not going to get up to that level. So we've got to be content with a mid-table team, but have a manager that can inspire the fans and get an atmosphere that we can actually be proud of. That's what we've got to be. Otherwise, we're just going to go down to the Championship, and you look at someone like Coventry City, you know, dread to think that we'd be like that.
Yeah, absolutely. These things can happen. You probably know in your own lifetime, Villa got down to the 3rd tier of football. Certainly in my lifetime anyway. You look like a much younger man. Matt, thank you.
I'm not that old, Mike. I'm not old.
No,
I even missed the European Cup as well, so I didn't even get to see that glory. So
okay, well, listen, mate. You keep going and keep hoping. That's all you can do for your team when you're in a position like you are now. Matt, thank you very much indeed for being on the show this evening.
No
Great to have had you with us. Thank you. Stay ahead of the game with Sports Tonight Live. Don't miss a thing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search for Sports Tonight Live on Facebook and like our fan page. Follow Sports Tonight TV on Twitter and tweet us your thoughts and opinions. Sports Tonight Live, it's the platform for the fans.